Dr. Baum, thank you very much for joining us. We will, of course, bring you all updates when we get them from the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas. We now move over to Europe for our next story, where in the ongoing conflict in eastern Ukraine, Russia has claimed the capture of 3 key villages in the Donetsk region. The Russian Defense Ministry announced on Friday that its forces have taken control of kater-ynivka, volody-myrivka and Rusan Yar, marking a significant advance towards Ukraine's crucial defense line. The villages are located in the area Moscow refers to as the Donetsk People's Republic, a region Russia has claimed as part of its annexation since September of 2022. The fighting in this embattled area continues to intensify, with both sides vying for control of vital strategic positions. We're now joined by Professor Alexei Haran. He's a professor of comparative politics from the University of Kyiv, Molya, and he joins us from Kharkiv in Ukraine. Thank you very much, Professor, for joining us here on NewsX World. I want to get your, first of all, the feeling in Ukraine currently. Obviously, aerial attacks are escalating. Russia is very, very slowly taking more land, according to them. Can you give me a bit of an insight of what is going on the ground, how the Ukrainian people are feeling at this current stage in the conflict?
First of all, I'm nearby Kharkiv. Which has the second largest city in Ukraine, which is 20 kilometers from Russian border. And that's why maybe connection is not so good. First of all, I would like to say, please don't use the term conflict in eastern Ukraine. This is Russian aggression. This is full-scale war. Perhaps you cannot imagine what does it mean, full-scale war, unseen in Europe since World War II. Now, since 2022, Russia didn't took any regional center of Ukraine, any regional center, okay? So, and now, Russia also, during last year, they didn't seize any large city in Ukraine. So we are talking now about 3 villages. So it shows that Russian movement is very, very slow. Ukrainians are resisting, firstly, because we are fighting for our freedom. What is our feeling? Look, negotiations started. There's a lot of talk about negotiation. But just the night before yesterday, there was huge Russian bombardment of Ukraine. 600 drones, more than 100 cruise missiles, and 6 ballistic missiles all over Ukraine. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine? Basically, it reveals the Russian tactics. Russia doesn't want ceasefire. They would like to move on. And they are moving very, very slowly. So basically what Russia is trying to do, Russia is bombarding civilians. People are dying almost every day. Civilian people. So this is a tactic of Russia, who behaves like Nazi. Let's say it openly. Okay, so please take into account that all the talks that Russia wants peace is a bluff. If they want peace, they would sign ceasefire and they stop bombarding of Ukrainian civilians. So we in Ukraine, we believe that it's important to continue pressure on Russia. This is the only way for Putin to stop the killings and to stop the war.
Professor,
we cannot,
Professor Haran, can I
satisfy aggressor.
Professor Haran, apologies for interrupting you. I want to say thank you very much for joining us. I'm very glad that you are okay. Obviously, Donald Trump has been a it's been very grand. It's been diplomacy has been very grand in respect to him negotiating the end of the Ukraine war. We saw that huge meeting in Alaska, and then Volodymyr Zelensky's meeting with him in Washington. How do the people of Ukraine now feel about Donald Trump and these negotiations that are going forward?
Look, frankly, as I explained to you, we are very skeptical. Because Putin, again, we can stop Putin only putting pressure on Putin. Yes, the atmosphere in Washington, where we had, Ukraine had talks with Trump in presence also of European leaders, was a bit encouraging. So it was the partnership with Europe, between Ukraine and Europe, was demonstrated, and this is positive. So the rhetoric which is coming is more or less, from American side, is more or less okay, compared to Alaska meeting. But we need deeds. And remember that Trump, several times, he declared deadlines for Russia for introducing sanctions, pushing Russia to stop bombardments and to sign a ceasefire. Unfortunately, he didn't do anything.
Yes.
And now, Russia, persuaded him, for some reason, to talk not about ceasefire, but about peace deal. So what does it mean? Russia don't want to stop. They would like to have the camouflage of negotiations, and at the same time, to continue bombardments of Ukraine. That's very brutal and cynical approach. So let's do not fall in Russian trap.
Yes. Professor Haran, absolute pleasure to have you here on the program, and hope you stay safe. We will obviously continue to bring you all from Ukraine as we get it.